When the drum is about to announce a new king, it must not miss a beat. But in Nigeria, sometimes even the drum loses power. My people, this is Arise News. And today we're looking at the dramatic debut of Nigeria's new Acting Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Rilwan Disu. A ceremony that was meant to signal a fresh start for the force, but was briefly interrupted by an 18-second blackout that has since sparked conversations across the country. On February 24, 2026, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appointed Olatunji Rilwan Disu as Acting Inspector General of Police just days before the retirement of his predecessor. The decoration ceremony held in Abuja was intended to mark a beginning for a new chapter for Nigeria's police force, one defined by professionalism, accountability, and reform. But as fate would have it, during the event, a sudden power outage plunged the venue into darkness for about 18 seconds. The moment caught many by surprise. The master of ceremonies could be heard humorously pleading for the light switch to be restored, drawing laughter and murmurs from the crowd. What should have been a purely ceremonial moment quickly became symbolic for many Nigerians watching. In a country where power outages remain a daily struggle, the blackout at such a high-profile event seemed almost poetic. Some laughed it off, others saw it as a metaphor, a reminder of the persistent infrastructure challenges facing the nation. But beyond the brief darkness, the spotlight returned to the man of the moment, Olatunji Rilwan Disu. Disu is no stranger to the corridors of power or the complexities of policing in Nigeria. A seasoned officer with decades of service, he has held strategic commands, including leadership roles in Lagos State. Known for his operational experience and close working relationship with political leadership, he is widely regarded as a long-time ally of President Tinubu. That relationship has drawn both support and scrutiny. Supporters argue that trust between the presidency and the police leadership ensures smoother coordination on national security matters. Critics, however, question whether such closeness could blur the lines of independence expected of the nation's top cop. During his acceptance speech, Disu pledged to lead with professionalism and integrity. He spoke firmly about restoring trust, tackling corruption within the ranks, and ending impunity. In a powerful statement, he reminded officers that Nigerians are their true bosses, a message that resonated with many citizens who have long demanded police accountability. He emphasized discipline, transparency, and service-oriented policing, promising that under his watch, the force would prioritize the safety and rights of the people. But leadership in Nigeria's police force comes with enormous challenges. Public trust in law enforcement remains fragile. Allegations of misconduct, extortion, and abuse have haunted the institution for years. The memories of past protests demanding police reform are still fresh in the national consciousness. For Disu, the task is not simply administrative, it is reputational. He must convince Nigerians that meaningful reform is possible even within what is described as a brief acting tenure. The reaction to his appointment has been mixed. In Lagos, many residents welcomed the news, citing his track record and familiarity with urban security dynamics. Some described him as experienced and pragmatic, capable of navigating the complexities of modern policing in Nigeria's largest city and beyond. For them, his appointment signals continuity in operational efficiency. However, not everyone is convinced. Activist and political commentator Omoyele Sowore publicly questioned the appointment, raising concerns about ethnic and regional balance within top security positions. Nigeria's delicate tribal and geopolitical considerations often influence national discourse, especially when high-ranking appointments are announced. Critics argue that leadership roles should reflect the country's diversity to foster unity and inclusion. Supporters counter that merit and experience should remain the primary criteria. This tension highlights a broader debate within Nigeria: how to balance merit, regional representation, and political loyalty in key appointments. For Disu, navigating this landscape requires careful diplomacy. He must demonstrate independence and fairness in decision-making while working closely with the administration that appointed him. Another pressing issue awaiting the acting IGP is the fight against internal corruption. The police force has long struggled with allegations of bribery, abuse of power, and lack of accountability. While past leaders have promised reforms, structural change has often been slow. Disu's declaration that Nigerians are their bosses sets a high expectation. Citizens will be watching to see whether this rhetoric translates into concrete action, from disciplinary measures to transparent complaint mechanisms. The symbolic blackout during his decoration ceremony has also sparked conversations online. Social media users joked about the irony of a power failure at a national security event. Others framed it as a reminder that Nigeria's governance challenges extend beyond policing. In a nation striving for economic stability and infrastructural improvement, reliable electricity remains a fundamental benchmark of progress. That 18-second darkness, though brief, became a talking point far beyond the ceremony hall. Yet beyond substance lies substance. Disu's acting tenure, though potentially short, comes at a critical time. Nigeria faces complex security threats, from urban crime to insurgency and banditry in various regions. The police must coordinate effectively with other security agencies while maintaining public trust. Balancing firmness with fairness will be essential. One proverb says, "A leader's first steps determine the path of the journey." For Disu, those first steps included a literal moment of darkness. But leadership is tested not by ceremonies but by decisions made afterwards. Will he prioritize community policing? Will he address officers' welfare, which many believe contributes to corruption? Will he implement measurable reforms that outlast his acting designation? President Tinubu's decision to appoint Disu days before the previous IGP's retirement also invites analysis. Timing in politics is rarely accidental. Some analysts suggest it ensures continuity and avoids a leadership vacuum. Others see it as strategic positioning ahead of broader security reforms. Whatever the interpretation, the appointment underscores the administration's desire to maintain firm control over security architecture. In the coming weeks, Nigerians will look for early indicators of Disu's direction. Changes in command postings, policy directives, and public engagement strategies will offer clues. The acting IGP's relationship with civil society groups, human rights organizations, and the media will also shape perceptions of transparency. For now, the image that lingers is twofold: a decorated officer pledging reform and a sudden flicker into darkness that momentarily paused the ceremony. It serves as a reminder that leadership in Nigeria is often accompanied by unexpected interruptions. The true measure lies in how swiftly and effectively the lights come back on. As this story continues to unfold, one thing remains certain: Nigerians are watching closely. The promise that Nigerians are the bosses is powerful, but promises must be matched with performance. The police force stands at a crossroads between public skepticism and the possibility of renewal. Stay informed, stay engaged. This is Arise News, bringing you clarity beyond the headlines.